Hey everyone, so you know your boy is a serious gamer, right? I started with games like Half-Life, the original one, StarCraft 1 and Monkey Island. So you can imagine how excited I was when the kind people from MSI approached me with a collaboration offer, especially since also my current GPU is an MSI model as well. And this is the type of sponsorship video that I'm totally fine with, where I can be totally honest about the product, but also I'm just very enthusiastic about it. MSI wants to show that they're not only servicing gamer girls and gamer boys, like you're truly, no, they're also extending into the field of industrial design as well. For example, MSI just had a collaboration with the famous Alesis company, these guys. And to demonstrate their brand spirit, tech meets aesthetic, they invited 3 industrial designers to accept a challenge from them. And I am one of these industrial designers. The brief for the challenge is very simple. Just use an MSI PC to design a product that is stylish, powerful, and a game changer. So we could design any product that we wanted as long as the design process is showcased within the video. That's awesome. And to do that, they sent me this beast of a laptop. It is the MSI Creator 15. It has a 370 GTX, it has a motherboard, it has electric circuits and other technical mumbo-jumbo stuff that nobody really cares about. The important thing is, this here is a very powerful PC, very good for creatives like myself. And what am I going to design, you ask? Well, since I have this brand new powerful laptop, how about a laptop carry device? Mostly because this is my old laptop holder, and yeah, it is sort of falling apart and not stylish at all. And while my backpack sort of could do the job, I want something a little bit sturdier and something maybe that won't sweat on my back all the time. So let's get started. I decided to start working with the laptop just as it is, just to test it, slowly get used to it. I just want to use the screen, so I'm not using my display tablet thing. And since I'm not using my display tablet, I need a bit of a warm-up. It has been a while since I drew on a pen tablet due to the fact that in my work setup I use a display tablet for drawing. So it is important to get the brain used to drawing on one surface but looking at another. Alright, so I have worked with it a little bit. I have tested, just sketched a couple of backpacks, and mostly I wanted to see how it performs just in a general random drawing software. I also used Photoshop aside from Sketchbook, and so far I'm happy. I made sure not to plug it in, so it's working on battery. I'm having a good time so far. Yeah. As for the backpack, I wanted to design something to keep this nice computer, as I said. And yeah, my main problem right now is that my back gets quite sweaty from my current backpack, and you have these really nice meshes for the back in trekking and hiking backpacks. And you have the nice and functionality in the laptop backpack, so I thought it would be cool if I could bring these two together. So that's what we're gonna do. First, let me go through the design process, which is going to be research, ideation. Sadly, no prototyping. Well, I'm gonna do a 3D version, but that's not real prototyping, not really testing it out. In the research phase, I will have 2 main phases. One, I want to learn more about the MSI design language, so I want to know exactly what they're using, look at their computers, look at their PC parts, look at their monitors, and take something that I can use in my design, and then also look at contemporary backpacks. So what are the trekking backpacks, what are the laptop backpacks, and like take ideas from everywhere and put them together in the ideation phase. And then I'm going to also model it in 3D in VR, in Gravity Sketch, just because I'm working more and more with it and I really like how it works, and using VR is going to be a good little test for this machine as well. So let's get started. As I mentioned before in the research part, I want to take a closer look at the MSI design language. Clearly, this differs a bit between the different MSI products, and for this reason I have taken a look at all the MSI products I could find on their website, from desktop PCs to laptops to monitors and even peripherals. After comparing all these products, some of the things that stood out to me were the asymmetrical design elements, the geometric shapes, the use of a dark, cool metallic materials, and the red color accents. I wanted to make sure that I take as many of these elements into my design as possible. Once I identified these elements, it was time for me to take a look at what sort of backpacks can be found on the market at this moment. While in the beginning I was mostly concentrating on laptop bags, I also came across anti-theft backpacks that have a hard shell and open close to the straps of the backpack, so it's hard to steal anything out of them. Since I haven't bought a backpack in over 10 years, I didn't even know about the existence of these new fancy anti-theft backpacks. Another thing that I was looking at was hiking backpacks and backpacks with a breathing mesh. As I mentioned in the intro, my back tends to sweat a lot under the backpack, especially with a laptop in it. So I want to fix this problem in my design. Next phase was the ideation phase, which for me is also the sketching phase. Since I knew what I wanted to have in my backpack, in this phase I was mostly concentrating on the exterior aesthetics of the bag. I tend to mention this quite often in my videos, but let me repeat it one more time. It is very important to put all your ideas, even the bad ones, on paper. The sooner you get these ideas out of your head onto paper, the sooner you can move on to more productive ideas. Also, having a whole bunch of ideas sketched out on a paper, or screen in this case, also gives you the opportunity to mix and match ideas. See what works in one design, doesn't work in the other, and then just make your own custom-made design. As I mentioned earlier, I really like the asymmetric design elements I identified from the MSI products. So I try to implement asymmetric elements in the design as well. You can see this in the sort of triangle shapes or in the X's, and you can also see when I'm drawing with symmetry on, I stop and then I start moving things around to get this asymmetry sort of feeling.
Wait, didn't you have a deadline?
Well, no, yeah, I'm working. I'm totally working. I was here working, as you can see. Yeah, so I'm drawing. By the time I came to the final drawings, I was pretty sure I knew what I wanted. The backpack had the minimalist feeling I got from many MSI products, especially the laptops, and it also had the asymmetric design details I liked. Next step was to move on from 2D and start modeling the backpack in 3D. Now, as most of you folks know, I am much more of a 2D sketching person, not really a 3D modeler. That did change a bit, however, ever since I started using Gravity Sketch, which takes my sketching workflow and seamlessly translates it into 3D. This all thanks to the VR environment. And that is great news for me, because I always felt once I started working in 3D, I was sort of locked and I couldn't change the model anymore. I was like blocked in. Now I have the freedom to sketch around my model, add new lines and try out completely new things, and this totally in the sketching workflow that I also have on paper or in any drawing app on the computer. I don't even have to finish my drawn sketches because I can just do the drawing in Gravity Sketch itself. And another benefit of working in VR is that you are one step closer to prototyping. Of course, the best thing would be to have an actual quick mock-up model in real life to show it to people and for them to test it out. But having it built in VR makes it so that you can zoom into a 1:1 scale and see how it looks on a human body. So it gives you a pretty good approximation. For my process in Gravity Sketch, I start with a wireframe on top of which I create my surfaces. Just like with actual sketching, I use the rough sketch as an underlay, but basically the wireframe I do in the beginning and I model all over it. That is going to go on a layer, be see-through, and on top of that I start my actual modeling. And that model is also up to change since everything can be adjusted so easily in 3D. For example, the bar that was going around the bottom part of my backpack was looking a bit too clunky. I did have a cool sci-fi feel to it, but it was not really fitting with the minimalist design I set out to do, so I decided to remove it. Since for the interior it didn't make much sense to draw different iteration sketches, I do it here because it is much easier to push things around. For the interior, I wanted a laptop compartment, a compartment for my graphic tablet, space for the charger, and the pockets for sketchbooks, markers, pencils, and maybe some peripherals for the laptop. Doing this in 3D is much more intuitive because, as I said, I can take each and every of these pockets, push them around, resize them. I don't have to redraw everything. I can actually reuse some of the assets and just put them into the places that I want or move them around if I don't like them there.
Hey, are you still working?
Oh, yeah, I'm modeling. One big difference that is definitely worth mentioning is that Gravity Sketch is not a CAD application, which means that it will not be able to link and or connect parts together to test how they work in motion, how you can rotate them, and what are the angles. Most industrial designers are used to those functionalities from various CAD applications we use for modeling. So my simple workaround here was to copy the geometry I already created and modify it so that it represents various use cases of the back. Basically creating kind of a 3D variant of a user manual, sketches. While this is not the most elegant solution, it is quite fast and perfectly enough to sell the client on the idea. And finally, I took some screenshots so I can present my idea in non-video form as well. So this is our final design of our backpack. Our mannequin is nicely showcasing it for us. So this is the backpack without our mannequin. As I said, we have the mesh towards the back so it doesn't touch the back, so you don't have the sweaty problem. We have nice padded areas where it touches our back so it's still comfortable, mostly because I wanted the whole casing to be a bit more harder other than this bottom part. Something I didn't talk about and I wanted to showcase it here because I didn't want a water bottle inside of the backpack with all the electronics. I hid a zipper here that has a mesh in it, which is the shape of a water bottle holder. So you just put your water bottle in there and you can easily carry it around. And when you don't need it anymore, push it back in and zip it up. Let's take a look at the interiors. So as I said, I had to make several versions, one half open and one totally open. This is the laptop area. So it's nicely padded, as you can see, and safe. And then this is the main compartment. This little area here for, not iPad, well, it could be an iPad, but it could be all sorts of drawing pads because yeah, the main idea is for this is designed for me, so I would carry a drawing pad with me. And then down here or here, wherever you feel like it, you could keep your charger for the laptop, but you could also keep peripherals like a mouse or a controller or other things, whatever you want to carry around. Since it's a gaming computer, you could carry a controller around as well. And then in here, this area would be for sketchbooks or books or stuff like that if you want to carry around. And then I have a lot of extra space for markers, pencils, sketches, maybe a smaller sketchbook could fit in there. So whatever you feel is necessary. So let's take one final look at our backpack, which is this one, and with all the other backpacks in the background as well. And with that, we have come to the final part of this process. Well, not really part of the process, since I'm talking about the editing of the video. Editing, which is done on this powerful MSI computer. And once again, let me thank MSI for letting me participate in this really fun challenge and also sending me this very powerful laptop. But this is not the end for you, because MSI is curious how you would design your very own laptop or monitor or MSI peripheral. What sort of features would you add if you would have the chance to design something? What sort of look would you give to an MSI product? The MSI ID team will take some of these creative ideas, give some feedback, and do some sketches based on your ideas. And for the lucky winner to be able to properly celebrate and drink your champagne, MSI is going to help you, and they're going to gift you an Alessandro M MSI corkscrew. So make sure to click on the link below to be able to submit your ideas for this fun MSI challenge. And that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. and see you in the next one. Bye bye.